Hey guys, how's it going? So, I had an amazing contact dream last night, stroke astral experience. I'll get to a little bit about all this astral blueprint level ship experience, whether it's a dream or astral in another dimension or what, in a moment. So, yesterday I moved into this new apartment and it's at the foot of the mountains. I'm here in the Peruvian Andes in the Sacred Valley in Cusco in Peru. And so it's a real PowerPoint here. It's a real amazing place in nature. And so yeah, so I was in a pretty good mood yesterday. I was feeling really still, really peaceful, really centered. It's super quiet and super still out here. And still you kind of hear like crickets going purr, purr, all night. It's pretty amazing. And so I fell asleep and I just had this like really intense dream. So it's what I would call a contact dream. And it's more than just a dream. You know it by the energy, which I'll talk about in a minute. It's like, I believe it's somewhere between the astral plane and the dream state and physical reality. It's kind of like when you go on the ET ships, they're actually in another dimension of reality. Even when I've had my physical contact experience, it was kind of like a space of missing time, and then they dropped me off back in the forest and it was like I went into another dimension. It's really bizarre. It's like the ETs are like, I guess, fully fledged fifth dimensional fourth density entities, and when you enter into their reality, you actually enter into like a fourth density reality. So incidentally, I believe like a big part of my path, apart from having the ET contact, is introducing people to fourth density reality, and that's why I go through all these crazy experiences slightly ahead of the curve. And it's not all fun. It takes some integrating, I tell you, like realizing you don't exist. Not in the way you thought you did as a physical body. Of course I exist. Hello, I'm here, guys. So yeah, so I basically fell asleep and I was having a dream, and it was like a really social dream. It's almost being in a nightclub. The best way I can explain like these contact experiences on a ship is it's a bit like being in a nightclub, because you're kind of in this small enclosed environment with loads of people. There's always like loads of people there. It's always like hyper social. It's like as well as the ETs being there, there's like loads of humans go in there and astral, and we all meet up. Some people remember it, some people don't. I tend not to remember so much of it, but this time I remembered it really clearly because it was so intense. And so I remember at the start of it, I met a woman, a girl, and like I was kind of like, it's kind of like when you meet people in this dimension, you have like no filter. Like if you find someone attractive, you just go for it. If someone irritates you, you just punch them in the face. This is what it's like. There's no filter. There's nothing holding you back from expressing your emotional state in this dimension. So prepare for 4D, guys. And so yeah, so I was kind of hanging out with this chick for a while, and then I remember I kind of wandered off. She kind of left me, and I was like, where's she gone? She was really hot. Where's she gone? I don't know if she was an ET or human. I don't know. I don't know, guys. But anyway, so after this, I went out into another part of the nightclub. I see now, because in nightclubs there's kind of two tiers, and often you have like a balcony area and you can walk round and look down on the area below. It's often a lot like that as well, and I assume it's in the ships. They have this kind of two-tier scenario where they have like a balcony area around the edge of the ship, and then they have an open floor, like a dance floor. And often people are drinking. I definitely remember in a previous one of these dreams, like a guy I know from here was there, and he had a glass of wine. So it's not what you think. I tell you, contact guys, it's not what you think. And so yeah, I remember like wandering off into a different part of the club, probably a different part of the spaceship in reality, and because you're not quite coherent of what's going on. You don't really know. You just kind of, like in a dream, you're not really analysing what's going on. You're just experiencing lots of strange things. And so I guess you're so present, you're not operating from your physical mind. You're just experiencing what's happening, and you're not got your mind going, oh, what's going on? Are these aliens? Are these humans? You're just experiencing the joy of experiencing interaction with extraterrestrials in the moment. And so, yeah, I walked off. I couldn't find this chick. So I just wandered off around another part of the ship, and I came to this part of the ship, and it's very much like I was in a nightclub. You know how when you're in a nightclub, like your friends are just kind of stood there, like with a beer in their hands, like if they're not dancing or doing something else, like just kind of stood there, like socializing. And so I came up to and I recognized, I'm like, whoa, you're my friends from my childhood, yet you look younger than than you do now, and you look younger than me. So I believe what these beings were that I actually met. I think they were Yahyel. I'm fairly certain they were Yahyel. Maybe I'll tune in and see what I channel on this at some point. And I believe they were the Yahyel counterparts of some of my friends, some of my old school friends from back in the UK. I won't mention their names for their sake. They probably wouldn't be very happy. I know, who knows. But yes, so there was three of them, but I distinctly remember who two of them were. Like I really recognised them from my as old childhood friends. But now, of course, they're grown up. Like I'm 46. We're not kind of childhood anymore, I don't think. And so, yeah, and I was talking to them, and I was like, "Wow, you're my friends, but you look really young. You look really young." And then I started to notice that their eyes were, specifically one of them, his eyes were really weird, like almost kind of like, I don't know, like kind of like this, and but kind of like all different. I don't know, I can't quite say. Not what you'd traditionally say, like big like ET eyes, as you often see in the images. They were like a similar size to like my eyes. Like I guess I got quite big eyes, and so but they were vivid blue. I remember the irises were like really bright, vivid, like sky blue color, like a light sky blue color. And the more I looked into the eyes, the more I noticed they were different. And I kind of saw like the mouth was perhaps a bit more slitty, a bit more slim-lipped, a bit more slitty, you know, a bit more like a grey ET. And I just remember the eyes, and I was staring into the eyes, and at some point I realised I was looking into the eyes of an extraterrestrial. And I was like, whoa, you're not human, are you? You're an ET, whoa. And at that point, the energy started getting really intense, like really intense. I was like merging energy with this entity, and it was a really intense energy dream. You're on the point of freaking out. You feel this powerful, overwhelming energy, like your heart's going to explode with unconditional love or powerful energy. And like I remember he was just looking me back in the eyes, and he was kind of like, we were exchanging his communication without saying anything, but I guess he was kind of transmitting that yes, I'm an ET. And I was just staring in his eyes, and he was staring back, and like my fear started coming up, and I started getting anxious. And he just kind of when the fear got to a certain point, he kind of just walked off, like, and it was like yeah, I'm not talking to you anymore. You've gone really low vibrational. Like, I don't like humans that much. And that was kind of the energy. Do you know what I mean? It was like I guess some members of the Yahyel find it a bit difficult to be around humans because we're so egotistical, so fear-centered, so arrogant, so, you know, all these human traits that they don't express. They're more kind of divine, love, light-centered beings. And so he kind of smelt my arrogance and my fear and just kind of walked off. Because he was like, yeah, like, yeah, everything's good. We know this is part of the mission, but I don't really want to be around you now. Bye. He didn't say that. He just walked off, kind of giving me a look of like kind of distaste. Like, wasn't too impressed with my energy, wasn't too impressed with my fear, wasn't too impressed with like my kind of human arrogance, you know, that all us humans have. Well, I'm really spiritual. This kind of energy. So that was basically, oh yeah, and then I woke up, and this was what made it so significant. When I woke up, like the energy in my body was so like, I could feel my heart, like there was just this intense energy, like this strong, powerful energy just going like kind of like this in my heart, like, and like the energy in like the room as well was affected by it. So I don't know if they kind of came in my room in the astral, or like, I think it's something to do with like you're actually overlaying dimensions. Perhaps some of you who know a lot about the astral realm, because I'm not an expert on the astral realm, can tell me. But it feels like the dimensions are kind of overlaid. Like it's not that I went to the astral, and it's not that they came into my room in another dimension. It's kind of like the dimensions become layered on top of each other somehow. That was kind of what I was feeling when I woke up, and there was just so much energy. It was just like, I was like, what the? And I remember the dream very clearly, and I'm like, holy crap, I've just met some ETs in the astral, and like my heart is so open, and the energy is so powerful, and it's just like, just. And that's what, you know, made me think, like, I'm going to make a video about this. Like, if it wasn't for that, you know, maybe I could have written off as just a dream. I mean, it was so intense and so powerful. I don't think I could have done, but it was like I woke up with such an tense energy, like it's unbelievable, the auric density, the vibrational density of these extraterrestrials. So that is the game, guys. So Shivai.